Hello. Hello, box puppy. Ah, my hair is blending into the background. Oh well. That's what I get for teal hair on a green screen, I guess. But here we are. It's Sunday. I have, I don't know, like an hour and a half. I figured I should get at least some of chapter 3 in because I have not had a chance to do that yet. And what better thing to do on a Sunday morning than hang out with peeps over here. Sadly, I'm starting slightly late because I had to try to figure out why Twitter decided that it suspended my account. I still don't know why, but I put in an appeal and hopefully they'll straighten it out. But at least I don't really post there very much, so I only vaguely care that they suspended it, but it's annoying because I've had that account since 2008, and they just decided I don't get to follow any of the people I follow anymore or something. I would blame Elon Musk, but I don't think he actually had anything to do with it. I think they're just being stupid. Oh, thank you, Limbo. It's got like a teal and then a blue and then a purple under it, so I am a fan. But you'll get to see it in a couple of weeks, so that should be exciting. Anyway, so I am going to get into chapter 3 of Scarlet Hollow with this playthrough, which is Booksmart and Streetsmart, which has been interesting. Booksmart, I know, comes into play in chapter 3, but without Mystic, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go, because I had Mystic the last time. But yeah, let's see, what else did I want to cover? Oh yes, it's May, as we know, and May is Mental Illness Awareness Month, Mental Health Awareness Month. So this whole month I'm doing a fundraiser for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is an organization that helps kind of destigmatize mental illness and make healthcare for it affordable and findable and available. To support that, I'm wearing my my t-shirt from Inside Out, which says I have a lot of feelings, and has pictures of all the characters, so I figured that was appropriate. But please look at the information link, and please donate. It's important. I'm trying to have some rewards for folks for donating, including, pointing in the right direction, yes, little cranes up there, and there's a couple of knit hats and a woven scarf up for rewards as well as a handwritten letter, and attempting to do this in a Pegasus unicorn onesie, which I do in fact own, I guess for my sins. But yeah, I do want to dive right into the game, but I wanted to mention that fundraising is happening this whole month, and since not only is all of healthcare kind of a dumpster fire in our country, mental healthcare is in fact even worse, so any help that we can provide when we can provide it is appreciated, hence fundraising. And yeah, that's true, and it is a very, very comfy kind of outfit. Plus, I get to have little wings and a unicorn horn, which does make everything a little bit better. But anyway, that's our rewards, and let's get right into the game, right? Here's hoping that my my button pressing here works. There we go. Okay, good. We can see the game. Hopefully you can also hear the game reasonably well, in a balance with me talking. So if that's not the case, please let me know. And keep an eye on chat. And other than that, let's try to figure out where we were. So I think The end of Tuesday from May 2nd is our actual game. Yep, episode 3 awaits. Ooh, a panda onesie. That sounds amazing. Alright, if you'd like to continue with this world state, yes, I do want to continue. This is what we're in fact doing. Thanks, game. If we'd like to see a recap, let's do a recap of episode 2. Right, so in episode 1, we had arrived into town, met Stella and a bunch of other people, went on an adventure with Stella, and watched Duke get killed. Did not call the cops, and stayed over at Stella's. So this is Tabby in the morning being like, no more impromptu sleepovers. We talked to Avery. We told him what happened. He's like, whoa, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I'm gonna keep my ears open for you. Diner's where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what's going on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions these monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Then we met at the library, and Oscar was worried about Rosalina, and she's been apparently avoiding him and not answering his texts. And we tried to go hang out with Reese, but instead we met his mom, Dr. Kelly, who was not into it at all. And did not want to wake him up for us. But we did schedule coming over for dinner the next day. Then we went to the mines to try to talk to the miners, and we ran into Wayne, who told us to stay home and keep out of danger. And I gave Isaacs my phone number because he clearly knew more. And yep, there we go. Give him a number. We did not let Tabitha see us. We did, however, see Rosalina sneak into a mine, which was terrible. Children in an abandoned mine. Had a sleeveless vinyl scratch in the height of the fandom before it went downhill, and not a cat hoodie. Took the horn, mane, tail, and cutie mark off of it. Ah, I see. That is oh, that sounds pretty cool. Alright, Kanika is amazed that Rosalina would go into an abandoned mine, and Stella is like, teens will be teens. And it is, of course, the infamous Shaw mine where the big disaster happened. Yep, collapse that killed hundreds of people. We called Tabitha, let her know that kids were doing that, and then we waited for her and talked to her while we went through the mine, basically to hear more about the collapse. And then the teens were terrible, and Becca was a horrid person. Rosalina told us that her dad thinks the library is haunted. And then we heard lots of knocking. Yeah, I mean, getting wider is sort of what happens to us, right? Like, that's certainly what happens to me. And then the girls ran away somewhere, and we tried to follow them. And we got a picture of the seal or carving while passing out and seeing ghosts of dead miners in the collapse. And then we found Rosalina, who found her way back to us, but I realized that Becca and Alexis are idiots and are still somewhere in the mine. And we had to go run after them because I could not actually decide not to go after the kids. I could not make myself do it. And the mine collapsed on Rosalina's foot. And she got to go to the hospital, half an hour away in an ambulance. And we got to drive home with Tabitha and come home and dream of bad things in our bed. So let's wake up for chapter 3. Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. Barely. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw mine still stuck to your skin. Yeah, let's take a shower in the terrible, horrible, dilapidated bathroom. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The water is hot and, surprisingly enough, clean. As steam fills your lungs and soot washes down the drain, Okay, so what are we going to think about? We can think about Rosalina. We can think about Duke. We can try to get the memories from our brain. We can think about Sybil's warning. We can think about Wayne. We can think about naughty things. I think we're going to think about Sybil's warning. You think about Sybil's warning. The worst is yet to come. Okay. You're done here. You turn off the faucet, dry yourself off. It's the only bathroom Janie doesn't clean. Yes. So Alexis likes Rosalina and wants Becca's approval. Becca is a terrible mean girl, basically. Time to start your day. Let's check on the opossum. There's now 2 of them. Okay, do not pet the opossums. You wave down at the opossums. They look up at you. Can I pet them? Against your better judgment, you reach out to the opossum, hand outstretched. Oh well, it was worth a shot. Maybe now they'll leave your dresser and return to nature where they belong. No. Let's look out the window. You walk over to the window, fondly thinking about the pleasant view it provided you on Monday. It's the same view. Turn back to the guest room. Every time you see that doll, your heart skips a beat. It hasn't moved, right? It's enough of this closet. You turn back to the guest room. Let's text Kanika. You pull out your phone and text Kanika. How are you holding up? It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Might as well text Stella. How are you holding up? It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Done everything you wanted to up here. It's time to start your day. You enter the kitchen to find your cousin in the middle of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. Oh yeah, well, it's Wednesday. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy the best she can. You have to imagine that the fresh face in the kitchen is Janie. We needed to be Booksmart for this? Tabitha did mention that she comes in on Wednesdays to clean. Tabitha's gaze swivels from the woman to you, her glare intensifying. Oh my god, I still have those peanuts. I am not going to offer them to Janie, I don't think. Let's ask about the important thing. Any updates on Rosalina? Yeah, they had to take her foot. Her dad's lucky she's alive. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream and then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible wound up happening, so you're coming with me. let's be convincingly lying. I'll be out there in a couple of minutes. I feel like shit from last night, and I still have to wrap up my morning routine. Given your track record, if I let you out of my sight, you'd probably just disappear into the wilderness, only to return in the middle of the night after burning down City Hall. If I'm lucky, you'll give me a call at some point between dousing the building in kerosene and lighting the match. She's not wrong. Janie, lock up when you leave, please, and don't go rearranging anything. I'll know. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, T'Pow, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. Oh, okay. I'd love to chat, but I'd hate to interrupt your work. I'm in town for another few days, though, if you've got time. Of course, feel free to swing by the church any old time. Daniel and I are always there, except when I'm working, of course, but Daniel's usually there regardless. All right, let's go. Bye, Janie. With what happened if you leave the ghost in the building, you may as well have burnt it down, right? Be safe out there, you two. You and Tabitha walk through the door of the estate and into her car. The ride to town is uneventful, your cousin unsurprisingly more focused on the road than on making conversation. All right, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. What are we doing in the general store? Picking up tea from Sybil. Ugh. Oh, I gotcha. We're picking up tea. Yeah, I'm picking up tea. Why are you saying it all weird? Oh my god. It's okay, Tabitha. You can tell me if Sybil's your dealer. Do you think I was taking you with me to buy drugs? Picking up normal tea for drinking. Oh my god. Aw, you can tell me we're cousins. Jesus Christ, Pow, I'm buying tea. Her face tightens into an all too familiar scowl. Okay. After everything that's happened the past 2 days, it's nice to just go on an errand. Exactly. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Fine, okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you never would have let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms off, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Ugh, other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. I don't know. Do we want to be Streetsmart or Booksmart? I think it's Streetsmart. Let's go this one. I'm glad she's finally letting loose. She's been so measured since I've met her. Maybe her family will finally stop taking advantage of her. Her family's taking advantage of her because she lets them, not because she's normally measured and composed. A display like this means nothing if she's still here next year, and yet again the year after that. If anything, it just tightens the ties that bind her here. Why do you care so much? We're burning daylight. Come on already. Okay. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Pow, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. I think whenever I get like a tag that's from a trait that I picked, I gotta take it. Can't believe you actually tried to tell me you weren't here to buy drugs. Oh, she most certainly is. Didn't you know there's no better place in Scarlet Hollow to stock up on the devil's lettuce than my little old tea shop? Oh my god. Sybil, did you really just say that? Because this is amazing. What? I am not some kind of stoner. Ugh. You know what? It doesn't matter. Think what you will. I'm just pulling your leg, dear. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tinkling of bells. Okay, I've never had Streetsmart to try to listen in. You find a subtle spot near the door and listen in. The walls of the tea room are surprisingly thick, and you can only make out snippets of conversation. I know it. Longer, short notice. Aren't easy to come by. Is there enough? Just fine. Make sure this is all. Not keeping it. You only have one. Plenty of times. Okay. I thought that Tabitha was potentially getting tea from Sybil to, like, have a baby, but it sounds like Tabitha is getting tea from Sybil to not have a baby. Huh. Interesting. I've never gotten to hear these, so like, I don't know what the going speculations are for this, but if you have keen eye and Streetsmart with it, you hear the whole convo. Okay. So what are they saying? I might have to actually like play through it. So what is it? Like originally I was like, okay, maybe it's something to do with some of the mystical stuff, but like it's not. So what are they talking about? You have to tell me. I hate not knowing things. Of course I want spoilers. That's why I watch other people's playthroughs. I want spoilers. I am probably going to end up doing Keen Eye and Streetsmart probably next because it's a good convo. But tell me. Definitely want to know. Right, I'm gonna keep going, but yes, I want to see it when you find it. Oh yes, this is Bo. Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Pow, aren't you? My name's Bo. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Mrs. Forsyth called me on the phone and told me you saw what happened to my daddy. Ooh, okay. Are any of these? I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you. Mrs. Forsyth said that you and Miss Richmond did your best. I'm thankful you tried to help. Mama's pretty broken up about it. I'm trying to hold it together since I'm the man of the family now. Man of the house now. But it ain't easy. Me and him was supposed to bring Big Betty to the state fair this week, but now he's gone, and as of this morning, so's she. So I suppose if I'm not going to the fair, I may as well make myself useful and get out in the woods to look for whatever's left of my daddy. You was there, right? Could you tell me where to look so I can try and find him? Oh. Okay. Is Big Betty one of your chickens? Nah, she ain't a chicken. Big Betty's our prized pumpkin. She was a big lady, too. I'd expect she was at least 2,000 pounds. Not too easy to move something like that. Could be she rolled off down a hill, but I can't be looking for her just yet, what with everything else going on. It's dangerous up there. I wouldn't go poking around. I ain't a stranger to what these hills have to offer. Daddy's always said I wouldn't have nothing to fear so long as I learned how to use my fists. So he taught me how to do all that. So I guess Bo is, got the big strength. Those woods might still get scary sometimes, but I reckon there's no better way to show my daddy I've learned those lessons than to go out there and find him. Your dad was killed by ditchlings. They're monsters that show up when something bad is going to happen, and they're the things that have been stealing your chickens. Mrs. Forsyth said something like that on the phone. I ain't never heard of a ditchling before, but whatever they are, they won't stop me from trying to find him. Have you seen anything strange on the farm the past couple of days? Not really, no, but I've been awful busy what with everything that's still been happening. Them chickens keep disappearing, though. He died on the northeast edge of town, off the Asgina Trail. Asgina, I don't know. Don't actually know how you're supposed to say that. Thank you, T'Pow. I appreciate you trying to help us out. I don't rest easy knowing he's out there somewhere, all by his lonesome. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Stella. Oh my god, hey, I overslept. Still gotta make myself breakfast if you want to swing by. Otherwise, meet at library and figure out plan? Kanika. Oh, hey. If you want to hang out, I'm parked in the abandoned lot by the gas station. It's hard to miss. Your phone buzzes one last time. Isaacs. This is Isaacs from the mine. You gave me your number yesterday. I'm out behind the diner if you want to talk. Oh my god, I'm gonna go talk to Isaacs. You have plenty of time before dinner at Teresa's house. Okay. Yeah, we are meeting up with Isaacs. Holy cow. You probably have time to slip off and hear what Isaacs has to say before Tabitha even knows you're gone. You hold the bell on the door to the general store, quieting them while you make a silent exit. You find Isaac smoking out by the dumpster behind Winnie's diner. Thought you weren't going to show. Here I am. Listen, I don't have a lot of time to talk, especially with you. I put two and two together. I know you're related to the boss, and the other guys are all riled up. They're talking action. If they saw me out here with you, they'd think I was some kind of scab. But none of them will listen to me, especially now. They've all got bigger things to worry about than a single missing miner. I haven't forgotten about him, though. Anything you want to know, just ask. Okay. What kind of action are people talking? Isaac glanced around nervously. They're talking about a strike, but you didn't hear it from me. So, Tabitha was dating an employee? Yeah, wasn't the first time either. I knew some of the other fellas she dated. They said she was the coldest woman they'd ever met. Had a habit of dropping him a few months in before picking up the next poor son of a bitch who fell for her wiles. Guess us coal boys are pretty desperate, especially when a woman of means like that approaches you. You never know if you're going to be the one who locks out and locks down that old family wealth. Well, she does need an heir. Guess Wayne wasn't lucky. Wayne's not missing. I keep running into him. But why wouldn't he come tell me he's all right? Where's he staying? Why is he hiding from everybody? It just doesn't sound like him. I'm not sure the man you think is Wayne is really him. He's all goopy now. I think there's something wrong with him. Something medical. Goopy. Jesus, I hope he's getting treatment. Maybe that's why he's been distant. Why would he be following me? Damned if I know. I didn't even know you existed until yesterday. I suppose Tabitha could have told him about you, so maybe he's trying to get to someone close to his ex? Seems like a pathetic move to me, but relationships change people. Maybe even a man like Wayne can be broken by someone like her. Did anything happen to him at the mines? Find any weird stuff? Uncover anything that wasn't meant to be uncovered? No, I don't think so. The few shifts he was picking up were all above ground, mostly operating machinery. Pretty cushy stuff, to be honest. Do you think Tabitha did something to him? Yes, I do. That or maybe Pearl Ann. I don't know what it would be, but something happened up at that house. The week it went down, everyone was so up in arms about Miss Pearl Ann's death, almost nobody cared at the fact that some transplant miner had gone missing. Did anyone think there might be a connection? What, like he had something to do with her death? No, absolutely not. Heard it was natural causes, died in her sleep. She was old and a smoker. Figured her lungs finally gave up on her. If anybody did anything, it was that family doing something to him. What was he like? He was a light-hearted kind of guy, always joking around on the job. The tea isn't for Tabby, but something that's in the greenhouse that she moved there after the player came to town. I thought Wayne was in the greenhouse. That she moved there after the player came to town. Like, I definitely thought it was Wayne that was in the greenhouse. I don't know. Like, I figured he was living in the greenhouse and sneaking around, and that, like, maybe Tabitha didn't know he was living in the greenhouse and sneaking around to, like, warn the player. Yeah, that was my second thought just now, that it might be the entity, but the greenhouse is probably not a good place to keep the entity. If it was, like, supposed to be in all those completely locked up rooms. But I don't know how the tea might help, unless it's like drugging something, but maybe it's part of some sort of magical nonsense. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Well, the opossums tell you when you are able to talk to them, which is not in this run, that Dustin's mom had to move in because there's somebody at the greenhouse, and Dustin told us that there were 2 humans living in the house, not just Tabitha. But yikes. Okay. This is very weird. And, like, I know we found footprints and something goopy dripping, so Wayne was definitely in the garden. I don't know. I was assuming it's not. Like, unless it's, ancient zombie Edwardina. But I don't think it is. So, like... Aha! So many things! So many things. But if it is the entity, and Tabitha is, like, doing stuff with Sybil to keep it there, the opossums counted as a human. Well, so the thing is, if it was, like, shaped like a person, they might. But if not, then there's also another human. And I do know that if you do have both Streetsmart and Powerful Build, and you do get through all the rooms in the West Wing, you get to, like, see eyes glowing at you from the darkness of somebody who is playing the piano. So, very confused, extra confused, so confused. You know what? I might have to actually just play all of the combinations. Yeah, like, my thought was that was Wayne, and the footprints and the goop was Wayne, which is what was leading me to believe that Wayne was in the greenhouse, and the opossums were talking about him. But I don't know. This is very perplexing. And creepy, but, like, in a good way? So there's 7 traits. I can, in theory, do the math of how many combinations of traits there are then. But I might need to actually go through all of them and try to figure it out. 21 combos. Okay, that's not bad, right? Like, That's not that many runs, and we have a lot of time between now and October. Well, you know, let's keep going with Isaac's here. He was a light-hearted kind of guy, always joking on the job. Amazing fella to grab beers with. Not keen on doing hard work, so it wasn't too strange when he barely picked up any shifts once the relationship started. I'm sure he saw her as a bit of a meal ticket, so maybe he wasn't too smart, but he was a good friend. Hoping to get the money for the game for my birthday. When's your birthday? I don't remember how much this game cost. But yeah, I hope you can get it. The 16th of May, so that's soon. I hope you get to get it. Yeah, we do. Yeah. All right. Closest one I've had. Oh, poor Isaac's. Isaac sighs, taking one last long drag of his cigarette. I appreciate you coming by to talk. I can't say I'm happy with what you've told me, but I'm glad somebody is looking into this. Seems like everybody else was perfectly happy to sweep it under the rug. Isaac tosses his cigarette butt. It goes without saying that you'd better not go telling anyone we talked. And if you see him, or whoever it is pretending to be him, tell him his buddy is worried about him, all right? Isaac heads back inside and you find yourself alone again. We are not warning Tabitha about a strike. Even if we super love Tabitha, that seems like a shitty thing to do. Let's go back to the general store. You make it to the entrance of the general store just as a furious Tabitha leaves. I can't believe I couldn't leave you alone for 2 seconds without you running off. What are you, a toddler? Wanted to pet a cat. Was having a smoke. We're talking forever and I was stuck in there with Miles. Let's go with having a smoke because probably smell like smoke from standing around with Isaacs. Calm down, I was having a smoke. That'll kill you, you know. Wrecked Pearl Ann's lungs. Always hated that about her. I've got a couple of hours to spare. I'll pick us up some sodas and we can get out of here. Oh my god, Tabitha is like saying we should hang out. I don't like lingering where just anyone could walk up the street and start talking to me. Tabitha starts walking, motioning for you to follow. I guess we're going to follow her. Tabitha stops in front of a small house on the quiet hill just off Main Street. The Scarlets own most of the houses out here. We rent them out to employees. Just more convenient, you know? And here I thought company towns died out a century ago. It's just easier this way. Now, come on, let's make ourselves scarce before we're spotted. Your cousin pulls out a heavy set of keys from her pockets. She picks out one marked with a bright strip of green tape and unlocks the door. Come on in. Don't worry, it's empty. You follow your cousin into the model home. We haven't rented this one out for years. I come here to get away from it all. Does that make sense? It's kind of like a vacation home, but I don't have to travel. Anyway, make yourself comfortable and have a soda. Tabitha hands you a cream soda before settling in on the couch. I'm supposed to have dinner at Reese's place. Do you know him? Reese? Oh yeah, the dude that used to hang out with Kanika and Stella. I kind of remember him. Quiet, gave off a weird vibe. Stopped coming to school at one point. I guess he got sick or something. I know his mom better than I know him. She's been everybody's doctor for as long as I can remember. She's intimidating. I've always liked her. Guess that's not hereditary, though. Reese always seemed like a bit of a wet blanket to me. I gotta know, what's the deal with you and Stella? We were close in high school. Really, really close. We'd have sleepovers a few nights a week, spent all night watching monster movies and eating chips, and anyway, poor Lan didn't like her. I'd always have to lie and say I was going over to her place to study. When we graduated, it was impossible to see her anymore. There was no more excuses to go study, and I was too busy learning the ropes of the mine. Poor Lan made sure my every waking minute was occupied. I didn't have time for friends. But I never needed friends before meeting Stella, so it was easy enough to slip back into that mindset and try to move on. Yeah, this sounds like an old novel about two very good female friends. I can see your autobiography now. Tabitha Scarlet and Stella Richmond never found men to marry, so they lived out the rest of their days together as gal pals. Exactly. Gal pals. Except I would never have a roommate. And that ship has sailed anyway. Ha! Do you know Sybil well? Everyone in town knows her. Let's see. Avery, Wayne, Janie. Are you sure you don't want to talk about Wayne? Yeah, I'm sure. Tabitha, the man is stalking me. It's fine. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. As far as I'm concerned, this conversation's over. I don't want to hear that name again. Avery, Janie, police. Okay. Police are really on my ass. I wouldn't really worry about them. Our family is the law around these parts. So you should do your best to stay on my good side. Do you want me to try and get you in with Kanika? Please, if she's anything like me, that would only make her hate me more. I have dignity, pal. You had some harsh things to say about Oscar last night. Do you really believe what you said? I do. Some people shouldn't have kids. What do you think of Avery? Who? Avery. Works at the diner. Wears plant shirts. I have no idea what you're talking about. Streetsmart. She has no idea who you're talking about. Why did you hire Janie? Pearl Ann hired Janie. She was my babysitter before she started cleaning the estate. Can we try some of that tea you picked up? It smells nice. Nope. It's a sleepy time tea. You don't want to drink it in the middle of the day. Yeah, of course she doesn't go to the diner. It's like, why would a Scarlet be ever in a diner? Do you ever get to travel? I saw your blowing rock mug. My what? Oh, that must have been one of Janie's. She was always saying we didn't have enough cups. There are 3 cups, that's plenty. One for me, one for Pearl Ann, and one for the occasional guest. But Janie said her husband has a ton of dumb little souvenir mugs from his travels. Yeah, if that theory is right, it's super sleepy time. Not that I asked, she just tells me stuff about her family. Anyway, she said they have mugs to spare, as if I needed her charity. I guess she must have snuck a few in under my nose. I'll have to remember to toss it when I get back. Anyway, to answer your question, no, I don't travel. Too much to do. Sure, I'd like to see the Outer Banks one day. See, there's the beach again. But I'm the head of the company. It's not like anyone can cover for me. You know, we have, telephones now. Janie seems like a busybody, right? I only hire her to clean, but she keeps insisting on talking to me and micromanaging the way I run the household. The number of cups we have is none of her business. And I definitely don't need to know about what her family did over the weekend, or what cute things her kids said, or how much she loves her wet napkin of a husband. You live in a massive mansion, but only have 3 cups? Why does everyone get hung up on that? It's not like the Scarlets don't own more dishware, but I'm not going to use the fine china to drink Pepsi. And we technically have 4 glasses, but one of them is used for the silverware. So there, we have more than 3. You've never left Scarlet Hollow? You act like it's weird. Traveling is difficult and stressful. I've seen vacation movies. Something always goes wrong. So even if I had a day off, why would I want to spend it driving somewhere where I could spend it actually relaxing? I mean, yes. I would say I would also use the fine china out of spite. Oh, Pengu, you exist. This is good. Oh my god, you missed me talking to Isaac's out back, which I've never done before, and learned a bunch of stuff. And also me attempting to listen in on the conversation with that Tabitha had with Sybil about the tea, but I only heard a little bit because I only have Streetsmart, and I was like, this totally sounds like she's trying to get T to, like, not have a baby. But Box Puppy tells me it's not that. But also, I've come to the conclusion that I clearly need to play through all the different combinations, which means that I need to create a checklist, and this is a job for my bullet journal, and I'm going to be doing that at some point. Hopefully you are feeling, still continuing to feel okay. And also, I must press buttons, so there is a shout out. Woo! Okay. I've seen vacation movies. Oh yes, something goes wrong. Why would I go driving if I could actually be relaxing? I don't need to see some windy rock or even the beach. It's just not worth it. Yeah, the thing with Isaac's is it's interesting. It's interesting. Like you get a bunch of info on Wayne and on like kind of Tabitha serially dating minors and etc. And like especially considering her relationship with Stella, I sort of wonder if she knows she needs an heir and she sort of just dates the minors long enough to try to make a baby. I need some coffee. Didn't get sleep till nearly... Oh my god. That is... I mean, I shouldn't speak. I went to sleep at like 4 a.m. or something, but like 7 is a little much. Oh, Pengu. Thank you. We are hilarious, is what we are. But the thing I was starting to say was that I have fine china because I had gotten married prior to getting divorced, so I have nice china. It's still in the packaging it arrived in from the store. Because, of course it is. And I'm too afraid to break it, let alone drink Pepsi out of it. Like... Yeah, also, Pengu, you missed my, like... I finally figured out why I can't post to, like, auto-post to Twitter. Apparently, Twitter has decided that my account has violated their rules and is suspended and is in read-only mode, and I'm not following anybody anymore because I'm not allowed to, and, like, I filled out their little what in the world could I have violated form because, like, all I post is... when I go streaming, and an occasional retweet of, like, my friends talking about sci-fi conventions. So I don't actually know what the heck is going on, or, like, anything about it, basically. It is weird. So hopefully they'll, like, reinstate it, but it happened, the last time I posted was on the 5th, so it happened some point between then and now, and I literally have no idea what in the world they think I could have done to break their rules. But here we are. Anyway, let's find out more about Tabitha, I guess. Do you like living here? Like I said, it's the only thing I know. You don't need to have lived somewhere else to know if you like it here. You do, actually. No, it did not. It said I broke Twitter rules. But Twitter rules are things like don't promote violence or naughty pictures of children or be a terrorist. And I'm just like, I cannot even possibly imagine what they could have construed I did to break any of these, like, entirely reasonable rules. Yeah, of course not. Why would they tell me what they think I did? Okay, you do, actually. Everything in life requires context to properly understand. And I don't have context here. You don't need context to know if you like living somewhere. Are you happy? Yeah, I'm happy. Why wouldn't I be? Maybe I got false reported, but, like, I have no idea for what, and they implied that somebody, like, checked and confirmed it? So I don't know. Do you actually like running the mines? It's a job, an important job. I've had years of Perlan drilling that into my head. What would you do if you weren't here? Does it matter? I am here. Why do you come here? Like I said, I like getting away from it all. People know they can find me at the estate, but they don't know about this place. It's nice to escape from being known, at least for a little while. I took a peek into the older part of the estate. Our family used to be a lot bigger. You what? Unbelievable. I specifically told you not to go in there. Does the word danger mean nothing to you? Actually, I take that back. I very much believe you were in there. You constantly do things that you shouldn't. I'm glad you've at least started letting me in on your little plans. But I digress. There used to be a lot more Scarlets, but now it's just us. What was Perlan like? Okay, I guess you should know at least some things about the woman whose funerals you'll be attending. She was my mother. She was your mom's twin sister. Fraternal, they didn't look alike. Same with their personalities, night and day from what I've heard. Perlan was a hard-ass, but that comes with the territory. I mean, what else do you want to know? How did she die? Sleep apnea? Did you two get along? What do you think? Okay, so I'm gonna go with no. What was your dad like? Don't know. He just up and left one day. Didn't want anything to do with us anymore, I guess. They never got divorced, just separated. Okay, so, like, wouldn't he have come back for the funeral? He probably couldn't be bothered to fill out any paperwork, especially considering he would lose any. And all claim on the Scarlet fortune if they divorced. And he'd have to pay child support for a kid he couldn't be bothered to call on her birthday. So, like, doesn't that mean he's around and might come by? Maybe Wayne is, actually Tabitha's dad. I don't know. Weird. Does no one in this town have two parents? Janie's kid does, for now. But this town will take its toll on her eventually. Okay, well, that's creepy, Tabitha. I can't believe we're actually hanging out. Isn't that why you came all the way down here from Vulcan? What kind of things did Perlan tell you about me and my mom? The sort of things you'd probably expect. A lot of it wasn't necessarily wrong, either. What do you really think of me? Do you really want to know? I don't mince words. Hit me with it. If that's what you want. You push my buttons. It's like you exist to antagonize me. I don't even know why I took you here. Are we really related? What kind of question is that? Of course we're related. I wouldn't have invited you down here if I weren't certain. Are you coming ghost hunting with us tonight? Is that actually happening? Stella will be there, but so will Kanika. I doubt she'd be thrilled to see me again, but there's no point arguing with you. If you're gonna get up to any paranormal stuff, I'd better be there to save your skin if it gets hairy. Count me in. Thanks for taking me out here. Your phone buzzes before Tabitha has a chance to respond. Theory and her dad, Eddie, got rid of him? Yeah. Because Eddie raised Perlan and Vivian because their mom was dead. And Eddie is Tabitha's great-grandmother, right? Yeah, that's probably true. Your phone buzzes before Tabitha has a chance to respond. Almost forgot, it's Mayor Jimmy Day. Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar. Meet y'all there in half an hour. Kanika, I totally blanked on that. Been having a weird foggy morning. Wild that they're still doing the Mayor Jimmy thing even after last night. Do you think news has spread yet? But yeah, we should go see Oscar. See y'all soon. Somebody's popular. I guess it's time to see the dog mayor. Oh, it's Mayor Jimmy Day. What a ridiculous event. At least you know the mayor is a dog. Tabitha takes another sip of her soda, smirking. Everyone knows it's our family that holds the power in this town. Still, sounds like it could be kind of fun. Even I can admit it's funny watching everyone fawning over the little guy in his mayor get-up. And if Stella's gonna be there, yeah, count me in. We can finish our sodas and head over. How do I look? It's been a while since I've been out in public like this. Oh God, them. Excuse me, Miss Scarlet. Can I help you? Becca stares at you from a distance as the furious woman tears into Tabitha. This must be her mother. Oh yeah, she really does. What the hell do you think you're doing down here, grinning like a buffoon after everything that's happened last night? A mine collapse almost killed my poor, sweet, innocent child, and you thought it was a good idea to retaliate by demoting my husband? We've gotten used to a new lifestyle. You can't just take that away from us for something that was your fault. I heard that one girl had to have her foot amputated. That could have been my child. Don't think I won't be pressing charges. Ugh, Mom, please, you're embarrassing me. Shut up, Becca. Mommy's advocating for you. Your husband told your daughter it was safe to go into that mine. Of course he was demoted. I'm right here. Even if he did, it wouldn't have mattered if the entrance to that mine was actually secured. Oh my God. If her name is not Karen, it really has to be. Chunky necklace and all. There'll be hell to pay, Tabitha Scarlet. What legal grounds do you think you even have? There are signs, the place was boarded up. I did my legal duty, and you don't have a leg to stand on. So don't try to threaten me. Mom, can we just go, please? If I were you, I'd listen to your brat. You haven't heard the last from us. You'll see. The woman storms off just as quickly as she stormed in, Becca following at a distance. God damn it, she's right. I can't just hang out around town the day after something like that. It doesn't look right. Oh yeah, it probably totally was. Like, Becca is entirely a dumbass here, right? Like, Tabitha is many things, but she's not, like, negligent or stupid. Like, it was probably completely boarded up. I should be up there, even if it's just to oversee what's going on. If I'm supposed to run this place, I've got to get my head in the game. I can't slip up like this again. Tabitha's thighs straightening up. Her scowl returns. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you at the library tonight. Your cousin turns and heads back to her car, leaving you alone on Main Street. I hope there was some kind of surveillance on the old mine. Okay, probably not. That's probably not a thing. Alright, let's go to the library. And there's our Again, our painting of a dude getting run out on a rail. Maybe, but I don't... Like, if there was, it's got to be like one of Stella's trail cams. Looking for Tommyknockers, you know? You enter the library alone. It's busier than usual, and a small crowd has formed in a corner of the main foyer. Yes, you're here. Thank God we have something to do this morning. My family's been driving me nuts. Yes, the whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Pow to the mayor for, like, the entire time I've known her. It'll be worth it. Trust us. All right. Shall we? I bet this is a lot less fun without speak to animals. Yep, he's a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Kid doing something stupid by breaking into a place is their fault. Like, you know, at least legally, right? Like, I think that, like, if it's boarded up and there's lots of signs posted and stuff, right? Like, if you have a lot of, like, no trespassing, locks on all your fences, high fencing, and somebody sneaks in and drowns in your pool, like, it's not even negligent manslaughter. Everybody just feels bad. You haven't met the serious man by his side, but you have to assume that he's the mayor's handler. The mayor's little nose starts twitching as you approach. His doggy eyes shine with a curious intensity. He knows you have something. Ooh! You hold out your now slightly rancid bag of boiled peanuts. The mayor's nose twitches eagerly as their strong odor, and then he's on them in a flash, ripping through the plastic and devouring the soft-shelled legumes. Drop it, sir. Drop it. Ooh, I got the achievement, generous campaign contribution. His security detail tries to tear him away, but it's too late. The peanuts are already eaten. Oh hey, you finally got rid of those things. You'd better hope those nuts settle well. If the mayor gets any tummy trouble after eating your disgusting pocket peanuts, there'll be hell to pay. He holds out his paw as if to shake your hand. It's lovely to meet you, Mr. Mayor. You reach forward to take the mayor's little paw in your hand, but his burly security detail stops you. No paw shaking, only head pats and ear scratches allowed. I really want to know why there's no paw shaking. I thought you'd already pieced things together. It's the best part of living in Scarlet Hollow, besides the nature. And all my friends and Winnie's biscuits. Oh, and the close-knit small-town community, of course. But having a dog mayor is the close fifth, no contest. Gretchen squirms in Stella's arms, straining to get at Mayor Jimmy. Hey, whoa, Gretchen, calm down, old girl. You're gonna pull a muscle. Miss Richmond, I'm gonna have to ask you and your dog to step away from the mayor. I should have known better. These two have never been able to get along. Stella walks off, struggling to hold Gretchen back. Kanika is quick to follow. Oh my goodness. It's pretty fun even not being able to talk to him. That's true. But it is more fun if you can talk to him and understand Gretchen's problems. Looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. Yeah, see, yesterday we learned with Pengu's run through that the preacher also can talk to animals. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Whoever he is, you can feel his desperation to make a good first impression. A self-sustained and self-fulfilling prophecy. So we don't know why, but Gretchen supports the other candidate. Apparently the dogs are elected, And is it like Scraps, I think is the name? Scraps is the other candidate. Have you seen Jaws? Forever ago? Why? He's like the mayor from that. So like useless and into tourism? I don't remember what the mayor was like at all in Jaws. I just remember that we had Chief Brody and he was trying to make sure the shark died. Yeah, it's dog politics. It really actually is. More concerned with tourism than the danger in the water. I mean, yes, that's valid, I guess, although this is not the sort of town that actually has, you know, actual tourism, I guess, but who knows? Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Tao? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I am so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. Okay, none of these are good options. Let's not kid ourselves. We both know poor land's in hell. Oh, I'm sure she wasn't that bad. Most people are good deep down inside. It's best not to speak ill of the dead. I should go. It was nice meeting you, though. Of course, and if you find yourself in need of counseling or spiritual guidance, you know where to find me. That sounds lovely. Thank you. Really? Oh, that's great. Sorry, I just don't usually get positive responses when I ask folks if they want to come up to the church. Anytime that works for you, just swing by. I'm sure I'll be around. It was lovely to meet you, and you have a blessed day. Pastor leaves you be and joins the line to see the mayor. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. Oh my God. Poor Rosalina. I can't even imagine how scary this has been for her. She seems in high spirits right now, but they've got her on some pretty strong pain meds, so I'm not sure how she's going to feel when that wears off. And it was the whole foot? Yeah, it's bad, but she'll live. We'll both be able to move on from this. We just have to get through the tough parts first. I should have done more for her. The details flaking just means you've been wearing it a lot. No, you don't have to beat yourself up over this. She's actually been talking about you all morning. She's really happy that you were able to help her and all her little friends. She keeps saying how much she wants to bake you a cake. Of course, we need a real kitchen for that, not just a hot plate. Also, I think that's probably her meds talking. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I'd better get going. I was only supposed to come back to pick up a few things, but then the hospital called and said there'd been some big bus accident on the highway, and they need the beds, so I have to come pick her up. Even though our house is still haunted and the only place she can lie down until then is the dirty back room, drove her away in the first place, and Mayor Jimmy Day is happening. Sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed. It's okay, Oscar. We're here to help. Yeah, we're gonna get that ghost. We could always go ahead and do a ghost bust or whatever we're calling it while you're out, and she'd be able to go right back to her old room as soon as she got back. That's probably a good idea, right? If only. But it doesn't come out during the day. During the FaceTime, she was talking about how her foot ran away and that she'll get it back. So any busting attempts are going to have to wait until nightfall. I'm still not even sure we can get rid of it at all. I think I'd have to see for myself that it was gone. It managed to trick me a couple times, and I can't handle any more surprises right now. I've got every ghost hunting device known to man. You're in good hands, Oscar. We have the power of friendship on our side. Heck yeah, we do. If anime has taught me anything, it's that the power of friendship is unstoppable. That's a lovely sentiment. I'm sure Rosalina will at least be glad to know that you all did your best to help her. I'm heading out. It should be dark by the time we get back, so I suppose I'll see you then. Oscar hurries off, car keys jingling as he jogs out the door. Okay, Nika. That's true. That is a good lesson that anime would teach us. But this is actually a good time to say again that I am doing a fundraiser for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which is an organization that helps support awareness of mental health issues and tries to kind of get rid of some of the stigma. And as we basically all know, if your body can't make its own chemicals, store-bought is fine, and your brain is an organ just like any other part of your body. So we really need to get on that whole like not being idiots and assholes to our friends and ourselves when we need any kind of help with mental health, and working to decrease that stigma is something that's very important. So I try to raise these funds to help with that. Also, before we get any more creepy, I should post that this game comes with a content warning because, well, it's creepy. But let's see, it's 2 o'clock. I got maybe 15 minutes, so I think we should be able to get through the Reese dinner part, but not the haunt today, or at least not until later today, maybe. Let's head up to Reese's. Maybe we can get him to come ghost hunting with us. Oh, no, you're not going to try to get Dr. Kelly to let him leave the house, are you? She'll kick us out for even asking. Wonder if he even knows what happened last night. I don't know how disconnected he is from the news around town. Geez, should we tell him? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe we just play it by ear. Anyway, shall we? Time to go. Should we invite Avery ghost hunting? Oh, yeah, totally. I don't know why I hadn't thought of that. I'm sure they'd get a hoot out of it. Yeah, I can't say I mind having a calming presence with us tonight. We won't be much help to Oscar if we start jumping at our own shadows. Cool. I'll text them on the way over to Reese's. Why is your computer blue screening? You have like it's a nice computer that shouldn't be having all these problems. Do you need to like redo your windows and stuff? That sounds bad. I'm sorry. That sounds terrible. So I finally met Pastor Daniel. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counseling. When my dad died... Oh, thanks, phone. Speaking of mental health alerts. It's about time to take some meds. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counseling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. He wouldn't stop leaving these little pamphlets at the checkout. I don't know where he finds so many. I think maybe it's because I've nearly totally run out of storage. I'm gonna move forward on my hard drive purchase. Yeah? Yeah, your computer needs, if nothing else, swap space. So, like, you totally need to, free up some storage. I think he just really wants people to like him, but he comes off as desperate. It's a vicious cycle. Aw, when you put it like that, his whole situation is kind of sad. Even if that's the case, it doesn't mean I have to like him. Whatever his deal is, goes a step beyond trying too hard to get people to like him. Ben was grinning through all of my dad's funeral. He's not normal. And I don't mean that in a stigmatizing mental illness kind of way. There's just this little siren that goes off every time I see him and that tells me to get away from him. That's exactly how I would describe it too. The whole town feels the same way now that I think about it. He must be pretty lonely. He can look for friends somewhere else. Oh, before I forget, I invited Tabitha to come ghost hunting. You invited her? Even after last night? I mean, if anything, I thought she was actually pretty hopeful. Good call, pal. I can't wait to hang out with her more. Kanika sighs. All right, it happened. Let's not get into it. If we're lucky, she'll be too busy at the mines to even show. Oh, don't say that, Neeks. If we're lucky, she will show, and the two of you will finally get along. Yeah, I think he is cursed. All right, shall we head out? The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. Dun, dun, dun. You once again find yourself in front of the Kelly residence. A cold hesitation grips you as the building's history looms over you from the hilltop. A refurbished City War hospital and TB clinic would be a strange and difficult place to live in during the best of times. You can only imagine the challenges of living there with a severe chronic illness. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Okay, but what if she yells at us? It's too late. The door swings open. Hey! Reese! Oh my god, dude, it's been ages. You must be T'Pau, right? I've heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I get all the T'Pau updates. Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip. She tries to get between them. Are you here already? I knew you'd showed up early, Stella, and you brought the dog. Great. Yeah, I thought she might cheer Reese up. I don't know what's gotten into her all of a sudden. Dog stays outside. But it's okay, Stella. We can let her chill in my van for a bit. I'll run the AC and leave her some treats. You know I always have some in the Easy Chew dog jerky stashed away. But we go everywhere together. Do you want to come in or not? Kanika nervously tugs Stella away towards her van. Well, what about you, T'Pau? Are you coming in? Oh, sure. You follow Reese and Dr. Kelly inside. Stella and Kanika aren't far behind you. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile, uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you'd wandered into a real estate showing. So, how can I lend a hand? By sitting down at the table and not puttering around in my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only things left are the dinner rolls, which shouldn't be long. Then we can have a quick dinner and you can leave my house and go on about your business. But I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. We still have time now, right? You aren't seriously considering subjecting your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? Okay, isn't he like in his 20s? It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. I don't mind a little mess. Yeah, I doubt it could be any worse than the way I keep my room. It's okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Cool. We'll just be downstairs. You won't even know we're here. You make your way towards the basement stairs. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls and paint, sneering out at their creator. It is a really pretty cool room, with some weak ditchlings here and there. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. Do you need us to sneak you out of here? This place feels like a prison. Unfortunately, the prison we're dealing with here is my body, not my room. Are you sure there's nothing we can do? Your company is plenty. Okay, Box Puppy, totally get a snack. It is so nice to have living people down here for a change. You know, we'd visit more if your mom let us. Did she tell you she turned us away yesterday? She said we couldn't even talk to you. It's a little controlling. You came by yesterday? She didn't tell me, but I was probably asleep, that's all. She didn't want to wake me up. I don't think that's her being controlling or anything. Not to cast any doubt on that, but she did say I couldn't bring you any food. She knows that's how I show my friends how much I appreciate them, and she knows I can work around all kinds of allergies and intolerances. Not gonna lie, it felt weird. I don't know, my body's pretty particular when it comes to food. She just prefers to have full control over what I eat, so, okay, maybe that does sound controlling. But it's for a good reason. If I eat the wrong thing, it could really mess me up, so she has to regulate my food. What are we going to talk about? Has Stella told you about everything that's happened the past couple of days? Oh, she's told me all about what you guys have found out there. I wish I could see some of it myself, but you know, he gestures in futility towards the walls of the basement. Are you sure you can't just sneak out one of these nights? Doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick, you know that. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to. There's nothing to apologize for, and I appreciate the effort. Really, I do. There's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die's already been cast. But we were talking about the past couple of days, weren't we? Do you have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've seen? Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Wait, really? Is that why you texted me that they looked like something out of your nightmares? Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put it together that we might have been seeing the same thing until just now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. I mean, those are ditchlings. He pulls out a sketchbook from one of the piles in his room. Okay, that's exactly what I saw on my way home last night. What does it mean that they've been lurking around here, though? I don't know, but I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. Agree to disagree with you there. Those things are going to be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. I wonder if they hang out near the seals? I don't even know. Do you think the town is doomed? I think everything is probably doomed at some point, but I guess that's answering a different question. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not, but it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what it's like out there. They could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. I would totally tell you if there was a riot. Would Dr. Kelly tell you, though? I mean, yeah, I'd hope so. But the point I was trying to make is that other people are my eyes out there. What do you think's going on with Wayne? Who? You know, that guy who's been following Power around, being all ominous. Oh, yeah, that slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he has going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look for all our sakes. You decide to leave it at that. Like none of these are really very Streetsmart or Booksmart, so. Want to come ghost hunting with us tonight? Oh, wow, do you think you'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. Yeah, it'd be great to have you along. That would be so amazing, but I haven't had the best luck leaving the house lately. Even just walking to town is enough to put me in bed for a week. It sucks. But make sure you bring your camera, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. So you three go way back, huh? Almost to the womb. But the school here is a tiny K through 12. Not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. We're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't able to make any friends their own age. They just happened to be born around the same time as some real jerks, and we're stuck with them through their whole school career, poor kids. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks, like a certain Scarlet I could name. Hey, toaster waffles are good. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she was pretty friendly when you got past that. Maybe to you. The way she used to look at me, you'd think I rolled in something foul every morning before school. Same here, though to be fair, the feeling was more mutual between us. She deserved it, though. I think I'm done with that. Dinner's gotta be ready by now, right? Almost on cue, Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen. Dinner's on the table. Guess that's it for catching up. Make sure you all wash your hands with soap. I don't want anyone sharing their germs at the dinner table. Sure thing, Doc. Is there a reason to lie? Sure. I already washed them. I don't care. Wash them again. I guess not. You make your way towards the sink, but are stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you accidentally wandered into a hospital waiting room, but more than that, you feel something radiating out from behind it, something dark and cold. Something that reminds you... Even without Mystic, you get this. Something that reminds you of the dusty tunnels you narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum just beyond your hearing fills the air, and you feel strange. You are compelled to approach the door, drawn in as if hypnotized. I was wondering if without Mystic, I would get something else. Also, I kind of wonder if any of the open the doors are different from any other open the doors. Before you know it, the doorknob is turning in your hand, your heart full of both deep dread and a compulsive need to know what might be on the other side. What do you think you're doing? Well, I'm just cleaning this doorknob. Dr. Kelly narrows her eyes with suspicion. Worry less about cleaning my doorknobs and more about cleaning your hands. Come on, everyone's waiting on you. You won't let her interrupt you. You need to know what's behind the door. Oh, no, you don't. Come on, wash your hands and sit down. She grabs you by the shoulder, yanking you away. You do as she says, cleaning up under her watchful eye and allowing yourself to be ushered back to the table and away from the door. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on a chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. She sits opposite you at the far head of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun on the window behind her. Given her protectiveness towards Reese, you find it odd that he's seated between the two of you rather than the other way around. It's almost as though she's guarded, not only towards you and Stella and Kanika, but towards her son as well. She's the town doctor. Dinner might be a good opportunity to question her about recent events. Pills. She slides a few tablets towards Reese. He obediently swallows them. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? No, it's from a jar. I work too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. Well, you have excellent taste in brands, and if you ever want any tips on easy home-cooked pasta sauce, No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. You didn't tell me they came by yesterday. You were asleep. I didn't want them to wake you up. But you could have told me. Why, they were coming over today anyway. I would just rather know these things. Noted. Noted, but she won't do anything about it. Her son will remain in the dark. Let's do small talk. What were Stella and Kanika like as kids? Noisy and messy, like all kids. And they always had these little projects, videos or crafts or animal rescues, whatever it was that had captured their imagination that week. So like I said, noisy and messy. Didn't we bring a dead squirrel into your house once? Oh God, not the squirrel. I remember that squirrel. Didn't you think the dog could Frankenstein it back to life or something? I was like 12. It was very susceptible to what I saw in media and very sad about that squirrel. It's one of those things that keeps me up at night. I still feel guilty about bringing the thing into your house, Dr. Kelly. I'm just glad you didn't make it a habit. Okay, let's lie. Food's really good. Then please, send a letter thanking the mass manufacturer of the spaghetti sauce and pasta. I just heated them up. I don't like wasting air at the dinner table, so keep your vaguely polite niceties to yourselves while the rest of us finish our plates. Wow. She probably also has Streetsmart. My cousin says she admires you. Really? I didn't think Tabitha could look up to anyone who isn't a Scarlet. You just didn't get to know her. She had tons of inspirations. Rockefeller, Carnegie, Ford. Oh, that's even worse. She admires me so much, she shouldn't be afraid to come in for her yearly physical. Especially since her aunt and now her mother both passed away at such relatively young ages, and I think the women in the previous generation fared even worse than that. Can't remember the last time I saw her in my office. She should get her priorities straight. You can tell her I said that. Maybe she'll listen to family. You're a doctor. Where were you last night when Rosalina got hurt? I'm a doctor, not an EMT. Once she's back in town, I expect we'll be seeing a lot of each other. She won't be the first amputee I've treated, so at least I have some experience. Poor kid. It's going to be a tough adjustment. I just hope it can be helpful to her. Yeah, I would imagine being a one doctor in a mining town. This is not an uncommon problem. Poor Rosalina. I think she'll be just fine. Oscar said she seemed in high spirits. Pain meds will do that. You can feel the tension at the table start to rise. You see any weird hairless creatures scurrying around in the woods? I don't tend to go wandering in the woods, so no. You don't have to go all the way to the woods. They've been coming to our windows at night. They've been what? There are these things called ditchlings, and they've been preying on the local wildlife, and Pow and I found a whole nest of them the other night when we... Oh, I see. They're some of your little cryptozoological creatures. I know it sounds pretty out there, but I've seen these things in person. We're not messing around. They're out there laying eggs in animals and doing God knows what else. And here I thought you finally managed to get an even head on your shoulders, Kanika. Seems like Stella might be a bad influence on you. I know her little stories can be convincing, but that's only because she's managed to so thoroughly convince herself. She's not making up stories. Neither is Kanika, and neither am I. All you have to do is look outside after dark. They have been here more every night. They're all pale and doughy, and their faces, they're like sculptures of humans that didn't set right. I see. You stay up too late painting your grisly faces, so you started to see them everywhere. I'm sure whatever's outside is just raccoons, or stop. Stop doubting everything I say. Stop trying to rewrite things I tell you to fit what you think should be true. There's weird shit going down in Scarlet Hollow, whether you want to face it or not. The more you talk, the less you feel like you're having a conversation, and the more you feel like you're treading on eggshells. I think I'm done with this conversation. Because, yeah. You remain silent, quietly picking at store-bought spaghetti and dinner rolls. So I was wondering if we could maybe watch a movie sometime this week while Pow is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like there's ever going to change. I'm sick every day and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Damn it. I knew it. I knew this would be too much. Everyone, get out of my house. Please, just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with his life. All it does is hurt him more. But we can't just leave him like this. Now is when he needs friends the most. No, now is when he needs me the most. I'm his doctor and his mother. I know you care about him, I know that, but he knows it too, but all any of you would do is get in the way. So just leave, please. He seemed fine before dinner. It always comes in waves, and I can assure you that right now he's very much not fine. Now leave. Yeah. Especially if you put something bad in it. That'll fuck up store-bought pasta sauce. The three of you are rushed to the door. We'll be back, Reese. I hope you feel better soon. Dr. Kelly shuts the door in your face. The click of a lock signaling the end of your dinner at Reese's. Okay, let's save. And then I need to get going because I have a thing at 2:30. But thank you all very much for hanging out. I don't see anybody to raid, so I think we can't do that. Yeah, Munchausen by proxy is kind of my thought, but also I know that Pengu has a thought that maybe she did some sort of weird devil deal. I think he's being affected by the seal and what's going on there, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, gotta get going. So you folks are all awesome, and thank you very much for hanging out. And here's one last reminder of my fundraising for NAMI, which is an awesome organization that everybody should support if they can. And I will see folks later. Have a good night.